Hello, and welcome to another game of Steel Division 2. Today we've got myself versus the Piano Man, which I believe is better known as Shkodder, though I'm not 100% certain on that. And we're playing probably two of the worst divisions in the game. Korück 559 versus 12th Tatalik. 12th Tatalik, of course, coming in with these bow 10s. Oh, infantry division versus infantry division. Very much a slower division than the very quick, well, relatively quick German 559, but still a bit of a problem here we've got coming in. But signature start here. I've come in with a commander, and we're going to be bringing a whole bunch of disheartened infantry right into the middle here. So, T-30, what are these gun? Not T-34s, they're called, T-26s? No. Whatever. The 742Rs do get spotted briefly by that 40M, so we're going to have to be backing those up. Flamwaffe does get on top of the Schwarzels. I'm coming in right away for that 40M, but unfortunately the 50 kilogram bombs, they don't really have the blast, so they don't land directly on it to kill something. So I'm going to have to move forward a recon car to try and kill that. Now, 2-star London Schützenlust coming forward here, backed up by Schuma. And Schuma, of course, they miss an MG, so they're not really that great of a unit here. Because the Alsocks almost get penetrated, actually, coming for that. Stug is also getting involved now, which makes this considerably more dangerous for me. And we've got actually a Maverick versus Balanced setup, or a Vanguard versus Balanced, sorry, setup here. Which is particularly interesting, I believe, just because, well, if you do want to fight against Balanced, Vanguard is one of the better ones to do. Generally, you see a mix between Maverick and Vanguard for taking out balanced deployments in League here, but the speed of the BT-7s, that's what they're called, BT-7s here, does manage to get myself out of the harm's way of the Stug here. Now I've got two flamethrowers in the open versus the Tatalik, which are going to be trying to smoke them out, so to say. VK-18 is also trying to make its way forward, but of course with 40M there, not going to be able to do too much. And we've got just a bunch of Tatalik together with a leader here coming in, trying to take out this sneaky Panzerschreck here. Has gotten itself positioned in a relatively good position, but as long as I got this SPW coming forward, and that Panzerschreck doesn't get involved, this is a fairly good engagement for me. Right, these Tatalik, they do have heat shells, but generally, the 20mm can just go crazy here. And of course, 2-star 20mm, but backed up by this many rifles. This is just a bit of a mess. And now we see, well, infantry versus infantry, as I'm about to get off-mapped here. He does cancel it for the time being, as the Tatalik here do get forced back. And actually, I managed to jump out of the building and surrender one of them, in fact. But the flamethrower does go down for that. At least I'm going to be able to keep that Tatalik away from me. But yeah, emergency off-map content, more low-ves. I'm not going to be able to clear these out in the time that it takes for that off-map to come down, so that's going to hit right on all my units. Thankfully, they are mostly all disheartened. Schuma aren't, but look, they're 8 health, so they're going to die anyway. And yeah, a little bit of moving forward here. I am slowly getting into this position. And really, I should be using this SPW a bit more aggressively, but I was afraid of things like a Stug and such. For a wolf up here, I do see the 40M here. And so before I can really make any more actions with my BT-7s here, I am going to have to take that out, and I do come in right for it. Unfortunately, 50 kilogram bombs again. Don't manage to get the kill there. Another off-map coming down now. Right on top of the other one, but all my units are falling back for the time being as I finally move the SPW forward here. The off-map vehicle is relatively far between the trees here, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful there. But T-34 is coming in, more Schumas, another Furak, because I just saw the off-map coming in, and I know there's going to be a second one. And the Stugs finally come forward to try and deal with my BT-7s here, but of course, with the speed of the BT-7s, these are absolutely great micro tools. And you see them only in one other division, I do believe, maybe two. And they're both on the Russian side, right? So these two BT-7s that you do get in Korück 559 kind of combine with the Unicorn division of it. And now my reinforcements are unfortunately going to get fallen right into an off map. As the field does go down. But Schwarzhose reveals itself. So now I'm going to be able to send a 20mm down there to kill that. Yep, BT7's firing here now. Do miss the second shot. These are 0 vet, but the second one's going to get on target here. And take out that Stug, no problem. Tsushima versus the Pioneers here. Shuma don't stand a chance in hell, really, but might be able to get some of these moving forward. T-27s might also, or BT7s should also get on top of this 40mm, so that should die. And now, off-map coming in even far behind, but I do now have a T-34 in this position. The Schwarzhose goes down. And yeah, this BT7 might actually get a transport snipe even here. More Stugs coming in, Martyr as well. And, well, we are on a 59 for the first time in this game. Shkodder, though, a very good player, is going to have to... I am going to have to find out some way to really kill him here as the 40M, of course. Stressed out and pinned down. Does eventually end up going down. VK28 moving up now. HS129 coming in for that Stug 3. There is a Bofors a little bit further away. This should get on target and kill, but, you know, with the Bofors firing at it, it's always a bit hard to say, especially since the penetration on the HS129 B2R2 is actually fairly low. I can't check it right now, but it's only a 30mm, and 30mm does not make it, like, conductive to killing things, right? These disheartened infantry's actually got force back all the way over here. And of course, not quite managing to get anywhere near that Stug. It looks like this is actually a barrage that's come down, which is a fairly good idea if I am bringing reinforcements into it, which I am doing, but the reinforcements are 10-point infantry rate. He has managed to even it up, though, 13 to 11. Managed to take these flags here. The Nishitsen, once again, are going to go down to these TNT infantry, no problem there. Definitely should have had them closer up here, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference. The shocks would have gotten the advantage of them anyway. Yeah, T-34 here. Stug's still firing at infantry for the time being. And more Shuma coming in, just to reinforce. Just still have the SPW here. So the Dlovas do have to be a little bit careful without any anti-tank support, but the Martyr 3 is going to finally be able to take out my BT7s, as I am paying attention elsewhere, right? SPW's coming in as well, and I was, of course, hoping to clean up all this infantry. Didn't really expect a tank, and actually gets a snipe on the second one as well. Wow, look at that. So, yeah. Lavez still holding this ground fairly well against my absolutely terrible infantry. The only good thing about Korück 559 is it's terrible infantry, which is kind of counterproductive. But yeah, ever since I believe it was Shuma, or no, some kind of SS unit that got buffed up 20 points. You really don't see Korück too often, and even then, before that, it was just a 20-point spam division, really. SPW unfortunately not getting involved against the tops of that here. But, yeah. Bunch of infantry coming in. HS129. I haven't set it up to attack on the Martyr because I couldn't see it at the time, and then I neglected to do it quick enough, and you just see the absolutely terrible turn rate. So, yeah, 95mm penetration, 100mm, or 90 armor on the Stug. Does struggle to penetrate a little bit at times. ME210 coming out. I don't actually take a fighter in this deck, which is a bit of a mistake, right? Shkodder is doing the right thing here with the BF-109 and bringing them in 2 stars just so they get on target a little bit more. But HS129 does have more than enough health to avoid dying to that for the time being. And once again, 2-star Shuma here. Trying to push forward, but there's a lot here, so I'm going to be bringing in a artillery piece at some point in the form of a Nebuwaffe. Right. Really, I should have had, well, just like as this, or an F-22 rather said, is what the Korück 559 gets, an F-22 position in this kind of a position, 2-star it. Just have it constantly deleting things down here would have been a much better use of my time. But T-70 is coming in for now. The high mod flex, trying to get on target on the BF-109 here. But the BF-109 actually is going to get on the back of my ME-410. And before the Hammerflex can shoot it down, it goes down as well. Unfortunate for me there. They both crash. And now the T-34 does go down to the Stug. And the SPW likely as well, if I'm not careful. Haven't managed to take this position for the time being, though. Shucks are behind enemy lines now. T-60 just keeping an eye on them. And yeah, finally, I realized that this is getting real hard to contest with. And I'm bringing up the Nimbewaffe. Pack 40 as well. Trying to deal with some of these Stugs down here. A bit late to take it in, quite honestly, but same thing with the Nimbewaffe. Yep, Stug kills the SPW. And my lines are looking fairly low here. I managed to keep it on a 15-9 here with my push down south. And this counter push up north, right? T-34 just manages to get the Lopez there. And second T-34 is going to be coming up as well, so I will manage to take back this flag for the time being. Pack 40. Let's get unloaded, and we'll be firing now. But firing APCR, thankfully. Single hit there. And now we just Nimbewaffe coming down. Trying to put some suppression on these units. Doesn't do a great job at it, but I've got T-70s coming in now. And there's no more armor here besides this Panzerschreck that can really do damage under that. Another Murder 3 coming in though. T-60 gonna have to move forward. Gonna have to move this one forward as well. And there's just Stugs and Martyrs over here and a bunch of smaller AT guns, which are a little bit problematic for me for the time being. SPW 2 3 though, doing a good job keeping these away though. All these Loves, and they're forced to fall back as more SS Schupo are coming in. Rhoda Pioneers actually coming in at 2 stars, and these are the ones with SCTs. So actually a fairly good choice here in this position. They will be able to deal with Loves at that close range excellently. More recon. Nimbewaffe having fired. Just gotta be having to move up. You saw that dispersion on that first shot. Gotta have to do something about that. But now, T-60s are going down to the Stugs here. And I'm going to have a real big problem here if Shkodder can manage to link up back with these troops here, these Arashocks. So, ME410 coming in for that. Fortunately, once again, 50 kilogram bombs, right? I should really just take the one card of the 250 kilogram bombs here, but yeah. Bit unfortunate for me. We managed to almost pin down that. And now it's just the infantry here that are going to have to be killed off for the Stugs to take advantage of this. And all this infantry don't have any AT, so the Stugs can't just come and delete everything. Alright. Oh, man. Nimbewaffe, Sicherungs. Stug 3 still firing away, trying to keep this a little bit hidden, but yeah, good idea is not uncle the world. Another off-map coming in, 100mm. Oh man. RSX coming in. I have managed to push forward, but T-34 versus Panzerschreck, yeah. A little bit dangerous. I haven't managed to completely screen my T-34. The infantry is lying a little bit behind, which is rather unfortunate for me. RSX also can't push forward, as long as the T-34 and the Unschützenlos are sitting there. As now, probably the third off-map, the Totlix gimmick here is just off-map everything, right? And yeah, we see that in action here as another off-map comes down on all my infantry. Thankfully, the expensive Rona Pioneers here, or well, I guess they're expensive as any other regular Pioneers, but one of the few units that Korück actually has that are relatively good here. Oh man, coming forward. And yeah. Gonna be helping clear things out. Flak 40 also coming in. Trying to deal with these. And now I see 1-star Flak 41. You don't see 1-star Flak 41s often, but I have started upfitting my Flak 41s in B in things like Vanguard decks. Just because you do get extra fire rate and accuracy and things like that, which I do think are important in cases like this. Of course. It just went to 9. I wonder what was getting a little bit of shots on target on that. Potentially this Bofors over here, but I do decide to retreat it, which is a bit of a mistake here. The Stug here cleaning up the rest of my infantry. Relatively bad. But as soon as this Flak 41 gets into position, kind of sitting on this flag here, it should have a great line of sight down this road and be able to deal with that Stug. Off map coming in again, but Now, One and Pioneer are moving forward, and they're going to be trying to get on target onto the AA here. So, yeah. We see the SVTs here at 2-star veterancy. They do a really good job of killing, right? Gophers doesn't stand a chance in hell there. But, unfortunately, the Panzerschreck gets right on target. Off-map comes down again. And now, I gotta be trying to counter Naval F on this right here. Back 40 is moving forward, trying to get a line of sight just down this road. It's a bit hard to find, but yeah, you can get some fairly good positions here. As the Lovez is now moving forward. Might have been better to just completely move forward, but yeah. Is what it is. Now, SVT's getting a target onto the Z-Homes there. Together with the back 40 and the T-70s. So, Lovez going to be forced back. Another HS-129 comes in for that Shkodder, even the Marder here. Was a little bit hard to see. And now, finally, more autocars coming forward. And hopefully some HE fire support. Like this flak moving forward, and even in fact, to help deal with all this infantry that I've got now. 40M, though. Another anti-air piece coming in. Yeah, Nibaveva actually does good on-target damage, but nothing to follow this up with, right? The second ones are lagging a little bit farther behind. I did actually want to come in and surrender at some point, but sometimes it's just a bit harder to do that, so I'm actually doing it with the T-70 here, but these units might just recover just in time. And I won't be even able to save them. Even able to see them. Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, back 40 is still back here. Definitely should have had APC turned off at this point, but is what it is. Still gonna get the loader wound, so Breck's gonna have a hard time fighting. And does end up going down. Up north here, we've got a problem though. More Lovez have come and reinforced this. Zekong's aside, right? Pioneers are gonna get into the grid cover here. And there's a Stug, which after this bomber killed my pet gun, there's nothing to do up here, right? Should have at least had this Flak 38 to make this 20 mil piss off a lot earlier, but yeah, not much to do with that. So, little LVF Pack 36 coming in, hopefully, as well as the HS-129, but I am going to lose line of sight on that. I haven't brought up any recon for it either, so yeah. This time though, Nibaveva is aiming again, and this time I got a stick alongside a truck here to follow up this push. Rhino Pioneer gets another piece of TNT off, so doing a lot of damage there. Down south, though, all my infantry is going down, slowly but surely. The Panzer 3N does, and just as I feared, the Connect here puts it up to basically a 12-12. Flak 41 wasting a bunch of its ammo. I've finally got MG42s coming up to deal with this infantry. Definitely should have been an earlier call-in at any point. And now the Z-Honks are rushing forward. Thankfully, these are just targeted like Lovez here. So, nothing really to surrender after the NIVF actually did a good job basically pinning those down and killing them. But yeah, MG42s now out in the open versus all this infantry. Should do a wonderful job, even if they are just out in the open, right? Shkodder's gonna have to bring up a Stug in that. And really this battle is just the fight between Maverick and Balanced, really, which is kind of a shame. Like, in terms of spam fests like this, what else is there to do except really out-spam your enemy, right? And me with the income advantage here. What is Shkodder going to do in this situation, particularly with this deck, right? Like, Korück's not a great deck either. But neither is Tartalek, which, well, you want to bring the Stern divisions, I guess, but what? Did that go down to the HS-129? Wow. Bit of a meme there. Have to check that one out. Post-game stats. SPW test with 40M again. Right, all my little tanks and stuff dying here. Do finally manage to take back this flag. 6 minutes left to go. 3 minutes on the 15-9, which I have managed to get. And despite my lines looking fairly weak, right, like he could basically push in a couple areas and I wouldn't have much to deal with it. The aircraft here managed to take out the... what's it called? Lets me park my T-34 right on it. And now he's just not going to have time to put together another push here. Up in the north, really. Stug finally arrives here. And is a bit of a threat. But the Pack 40 is in position. And so is the 88 here. As it almost runs low on ammo. Gonna have to be bringing up a supply truck or something for that. But, yeah. MG26 going to be coming in for that blue flag. Zico still firing away. And the MG-42s on the flanks here. Should be keeping some of that away. Ju-88 though. Coming for my Sicherungs and my Schupo. Right, help regain the flag here. Just get a 14-10, which give him an extra 2 minutes. Eva still doesn't get the kill. And yeah. Timeout flags. Kind of in the wrong position here, behind the trees. Should relatively be in front of them, especially once I managed to capture this. But I was kind of worried this entire game almost that I was just going to get pushed out of here and then everything here would die, right? So I had to keep them a little bit further back in a safer position. MG-42 getting shot at. And they're going to be bringing in the pack for that. But Shkodder also knows that there's a pack here. I would expect some kind of recon and then something to come out and kill it. Alright, which we'll see. And here I have turned off the APCR. And just by virtue of this one running out of APCR, basically. Might be seeing another dead Stug here relatively quickly. Another Russian SPW coming in. Not great. Fire Shock's not going to be able to take this flag. And I've got a Tiger finally coming in. And at some point here, right, do see the Ju-88 coming for the pack, but it's not even aiming at the right position anymore. Pack having moved, trying to get an eye on that Stug. And yeah, that is a GG to me in the spammiest game I've had in months, right? It's just spam versus spam. And yeah, like if your opponent is taking a balanced stack, oftentimes you can just like outright out-spam him, right? But Shkodder surrenders, and we have 1,815 kills to 1,610. Good game to him. But, yeah. Fairly interesting one out of that. Let's see if we can see what killed that. Well, it wasn't the it just went to 9. It must have just been a 20 mil. It's funny to see there. Both planes haven't gone down like that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.